Justin Fields stole the show. Went completely perfect when it came to passing the football today. Like, did not miss a pass. Had a great out route to Van Jefferson a little bit down the field. Had a phenomenal fade pass to George Pickens, and everybody's going to talk about a one-handed grab. Yeah, it was a phenomenal catch. Maybe one only George Pickens can make, but the placement of the catch was unbelievable. Fields had two really impressive runs today, one in the end zone, and then the other was around the edge. Everybody's trying to argue with the Landon Roberts is going to run him down. No chance Landon Roberts runs him down on that play. Justin gets around the edge on a read option. I'll say this. It's hard to detail everything that Justin did if you're not here and if you're not able to watch the game. But judging from what I've seen the last 2 days of practice, this is the first time that I could sit here. And I've been anti-quarterback battle. I am not a quarterback battle guy this summer. I don't believe the Steelers have one. I think it's all fake. Justin Fields is pushing the envelope a little bit the last 2 days. I don't think he's better than Russ. I don't think he provides more security than Russ. I don't believe he provides more upside this season than Russell Wilson. But I think it's really hard to deny keeping Justin Fields on the sideline the entire season and not trying to find some way to get him involved in this offense. Even if it's just a couple plays a game, I don't know how you don't do it. I believe that if it's 3rd and 2 and you're on your own 5-yard line, you run a read option because it's going to work. I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you avoid it. Justin Fields, in my eyes, is making a case for himself, if not this season, next season, which is huge because he has come such a long way from the first day of camp. It's crazy. I cannot explain to you guys how bad he was. He was atrocious the first 48 hours at St. Vincent College. Maybe it's things are slowing down. Maybe it's more time with Arthur Smith and Tom Arth. Maybe it's the playbook is becoming more clear to him. Maybe it's the fact that he's finally getting some reps with his wide receivers and things are working better and things are slowing down. Maybe he's trusting the offense. Who knows? But the last 2 days, he looks really good, and this is good momentum. And if I'm Russell Wilson, if I'm the Pittsburgh Steelers, I'm kind of trying to get back on the field because at this point, the longer this goes, the more impressive Justin Fields looks, the more you got to start talking about it. And at that point, Russ has nothing to stand on, so it becomes headlines you probably don't want. I say all this as a guy who was not here, as a guy who was an observer from just my observations. What in your head does Justin, how many days in a row does Justin have to have a good practice before this becomes a quarterback competition?
Well, the longer that Russell sits out, you make a great point. The longer he sits out, the more the door opens for Justin to turn this into a real quarterback competition. But at the end of the day, no matter how long Russell is sitting out or being held back in practices, he's going to get that opportunity. No matter what Fields does, they're going to give Russell Wilson that opportunity because that is what they brought him in for. And you mentioned, he might not have very much to stand on. He has 9 Pro Bowls and a Super Bowl to stand on. I understand the Denver Broncos years were bad, but Russell Wilson does have a pedigree, does have capabilities, and he did have a pretty decent season last year with Denver. So no matter what Justin Fields does, Russell Wilson will get an opportunity. But the more he can do in the meantime, Justin Fields, that is, the more open the Steelers are going to be to saying, all right, well, maybe we're going to keep it closer to 50-50. Maybe it's 60-40 instead of our initial plan was 80-20 when it comes to reps between Wilson and Fields. Maybe the door opens a little bit more. So the more days that Fields does this, especially if he starts putting weeks together, the more open they're going to be to giving Fields more opportunities as camp progresses and as the season begins.
Yeah. I agree. The longer this goes on, the more reps you're going to get. And there are people in comments saying, Russ went 6 for 6 in 7 shots. Russ did play some 7-on-7 and had some good balls. And it was not a bad day for Russell Wilson. That being said, you got to do some team drills. It's tough to judge a quarterback when there's no pressure or nothing around you. And I have no worries about Russell Wilson whatsoever. I'm just saying that that's not a full practice. And the terms very, very limited were used by members of the Pittsburgh Steelers today when it was describing Russell Wilson's participation. So very, very limited is how we are going to describe Russell Wilson's day with the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think Justin Fields, I was a guy that, and I'm getting called out in the comments as well. Like the other day, you said Fields has no chance. That's where I stood. And then today happened and you're going, oh, okay. This one's impressive. I still think Russell Wilson gives you the best opportunity to make a playoff run and hunt for a Super Bowl and make the most out of this team, so on and so forth. I'll say that getting Justin Fields involved, this is the first time that I'm looking at it and saying, the last 2 days are the first time that I'm looking at it and saying, yeah, you should have some packages. You should have some Justin Fields packages. I know 2 quarterbacks is too many quarterbacks. I don't know how you utilize them. I don't think you do like a Cordell Stewart to put him out at wide receiver situation, but you want to run a couple of read options. You want to let Justin Fields have an opportunity to throw the football once or twice a game. Yeah, I'm all about it. I think it works well for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm excited to see where it continues moving forward.